Hey everyone, thanks for joining Learn to Play Games. My name is Lance, and in today's video, we'll look at the third and final expansion to Moonrakers coming to Kickstarter, which is Nomad. In this expansion, just like the other ones, this is going to add some brand new features to the game that you can mix and match these expansions, adding some or all of them or none of them to your base game of Moonrakers to change the experience. In the Nomad expansion, this is going to add a brand new navigation board, and this board is going to allow you to get or have a little bit more control over the contracts you go on, but is also going to potentially limit certain parts of those that you can go on, as well as you cannot stay in the same sector over turn, so you must be moving around the board, and it's also going to limit a little bit on who is going to be able to assist you based on where they are on the board as well. This is also going to introduce some new events, and before each one of the leaders' turns or mission leaders' turns, they're going to have to draw one of these events that is going to have different effects on the game, including policies that the players will have to vote on, and if they get passed, then they will have different effects that might change certain rules within the game. So some really interesting things with this one. This is also going to add a new prestige board that is going to extend your games potentially, if you want to, all the way to 15. So if you've been looking for a little bit longer version of Moonrakers, this is going to be the expansion for you. So in this video, I'm going to go over the main features of this expansion and then show you a sample turn to give you a good idea how this expansion plays. As always, if you find these videos helpful, if you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel. It's one of the easiest ways you can support channels like mine so we can continue to grow and be able to produce this content. If you want to get notified anytime I release new content, also give that notification bell a ring, and that'll let you know when I drop new videos, as I'm always dropping new stuff, and I'll have some additional coverage for Moonrakers as we get into the campaign in that. And there's all kinds of other exciting things that they're going to announce coming soon with this one as well that nobody saw coming. So let's go ahead and head to the table, and we'll see what this is all about. The main new feature of the Nomad expansion is going to be the navigation board, and this is going to replace the dispatch board. This board is going to give you a little bit more control over the contracts you wish to go on, but is also going to potentially limit the allies you can call upon when going on those contracts. The board itself is going to be broken down into 5 different zones. Each zone is going to be for the different faction. You're also going to have the active policy that I'm going to cover a little bit later in the events deck, which is a brand new deck as well. During the mission leader's turn, they must move to a new location from the location they're on, which they can only move orthogonally adjacent locations, which is a location that they share a border edge with. Or they can always move back to the home base or to the Sorelli contracts location. From there, then they are going to reveal 3 contracts from that location that they'll place on the bottom of the board. And then if they want to have any allies assist them in this, they can only ask allies that are adjacent to their location. If the ally agrees, then they must move to that location as well to help them out. From there, then you would carry on just like in the normal game of Moonrakers. The Sorelli location is also unique in that it has a specific contract that you need to complete before unlocking that location, which will give you access to other contracts just like the other locations, which will potentially give you access to prototype weapons that you can potentially gain by completing further contracts at this location. You're also going to have a brand new prestige board, which works exactly the same way as the old prestige board, but is double-sided, and the new side is going to include a side that lets you go all the way up to 15 prestige. So for those of you that are looking for longer games, this is the expansion for you. You're also going to gain 4 new objectives that you can shuffle in with any other objectives that you have in your core game or any other expansions you're using. There's also a new deck of event cards, and at the beginning of each mission leader's turn, they're going to draw the top card of that deck and resolve its effects. And there's going to be 2 different types of cards you're going to find in here. You'll have event cards that each will have different things that the players will carry out. For example, this one, it'll have us move to a specific location, and then we may draw a card. Or with this one here, we will draw ship parts equal to the number of players and then conduct a draft with the lowest player choosing first all the way up to the highest player based on their prestige. You'll also have policies, which when a policy is revealed, all the players will simultaneously vote on whether they want to enact that policy or not. If they do, they're going to place it on the navigation board, and its effects will take place, changing a rule in the game until it has been removed or changed by another policy. And these will have all kinds of effects, such as this one that affects the hazard dice, or this one that'll actually affect specific cards within the game. You're also going to get some new contracts, and each one of the factions will get a couple of new ones, with the Slurry faction gaining a whole collection of new ones, as they are going to give you a new reward that allow you to take a prototype weapon, as you're going to see in a minute. The final deck are the new prototype weapons, and these are going to have all kinds of different abilities on them. They're also going to grant you an additional action card that you get to draw when collecting one of these. All right, and the final thing I want to show you is a couple of rounds in action, just to kind of show you how this one plays. So this is using the core game plus the Nomad expansion. I haven't included anything else, and I've kind of played through a few turns already so that we can kind of get into a little bit later portion of the game. Not too far, but as I'm just, the one guy's only got 1 prestige so far, but I've played a few turns off camera, and then we're going to go ahead and jump into it here. So it's going to be the blue player's turn. So at the beginning of each player's turn, they're going to reveal an event card and handle the effects of that. Oh, so we have a policy. So this is market influx. All players are going to vote on ship parts costing 1 less credit, and then crew cards costing 1 more credit. So it depends on everybody. Simultaneously, each player is going to vote. So I'm going to go ahead and say that orange is going to vote up, green or blue is going to vote up, and green would vote down. But the majority wins. So this new policy has been enacted. And so at this point, all ship parts are going to cost 1.1 credit less. Crew are going to cost 1 more. From there, then it's going to move into my turn, so I have to choose a sector that I want to move to. I cannot stay at the sector that I'm at. So with this one, I'm going to go ahead and move over to the green sector and then draw 3 contracts. So I have Envoy in Distress, Icarus Run, and Escape Pods. All 3 of these are 2s. So let's see what kind of cards I've got here. So I have 2 shield cards, and I have 1 thruster and only 1 reactor at the moment, so it depends on what I get for that. So I could almost solo that one. Just depends on what I draw, if I can pull that off. But I could go after a little bit tougher one. And the other players are in there with me, so I could ask for assistance with this one. So I think I'm going to go with the Icarus Run, and I will ask my fellow players for some assistance. So we'll see who agrees to that. And let's go ahead and say that both players agree, so then we have to negotiate. So I'll go ahead and say that I want 1 prestige to roll one of the, be able to or take 1 of the hazard dice. And I want 3 credits. I'll offer the other player 1 credit and 1 prestige for them taking the other hazard die, and I'm going to offer that to orange, and he agrees. And then over to green, I'll offer 4 credits, and she'll agree on that. So from there, then we are going to go ahead and play our cards. So I have to start off with my turn. So I have 1 ship upgrade on here right now, so I can play my first shield without using an action. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that first. Well, first we have to do the dice. So I have to handle mine first. And I rolled a blank, and over to orange. Orange rolled 2. Oh no. Orange is having a heck of a time over here. All right, so I got to play my first one for free, which doesn't matter at this point. I'm going to go ahead and play my first reactor card that lets me draw 2 more cards. So I pick up a blank and another reactor. So I'm going to start off my first of 2 actions by drawing additional cards, which I already did as part of that. I was already anticipating that I was going to play that. So at this point, I will go ahead and play another reactor. Let me have 2 more actions. I'll play that second shield, and I'll play a damage card because I don't really have anything else left. So at this point, I have met 2 of the shields and 1 thruster. So we have 2 thrusters and 1 shield left. So I'll move over to my orange player over here to see how they can handle this. So that player is going to go ahead and play his reactor that gives him 2 actions. He's going to use his thrusters to draw 2 cards. And then he's going to go ahead and play his reactor again. Thrusters. So now we've met the requirements for the thrusters. And Unfortunately, he didn't draw another reactor, so he's going to play a shield as his second action, and that's all he can do. So now we're up to the 3 shields and 3 reactors, so we've met our requirements. So over to the last player to go. Player doesn't have much, so he's just going to go ahead and play. He's going to go ahead and play his miss card. Not much else he can do at this point. All right, so at this point, then we have met the requirements. Unfortunately, this player is going to lose 1 and gain 1, so he's pretty much going to cancel himself out again. And so he won't get anything there, but he will get the 1 credit that I promised. Then my player is going to receive 1, and I said I wanted 3 credits. And then the other player will get 4 credits. Green lucked out there. That green didn't help at all. All right, so then each one of these players will discard their cards and draw a new hand. All right, then we go into the purchasing step. I have 4 credits. Again, ship parts are now reduced by 1 credit, so they're a little bit easier to buy. So I think I'm going to go ahead and buy, I'm going to spend 2 credits to buy this one here that gets me an additional reactor card. And my reactors are 1 less for their requirements. And is there anything else I want? That would have been great, but that one's really expensive. I think I'm going to hold on to these 2 at this point. So then I'm going to reveal a new one. All right, that is it. So then it would move into the next player's turn. So it's going to be over to orange at this point. And orange is going to move down to there as he has some additional thruster cards. We'll see what we get with that. So before that, we have to handle a new event. And this one is all players travel to the Comic. Unfortunately, that was not what he was hoping for. They may discard a reactor to gain a credit. So let's see here. I'm going to hold with green. Let's see what green wants to do. Green's going to go ahead and do that. So you're going to pick up another credit. And I don't think orange will. Orange got a couple. Nah, I'm going to hold on to that. So that will finish off that event. So now that we're at Comac, Comac, I guess I'll handle a contract there. All right, so we have a 2, a 2, and a 2. Lots of 2s. Oh, that's a really expensive one. All right, so probably the best bet is to go after that one there. And I am going to ask for assistance because I definitely don't have, I won't be able to do all of that, but I can do a good portion of that. So I am going to ask for assistance to see if anybody wants to ally with me. And both players are going to offer their assistance again. So let's see. I will take one of the hazard dice, and I want 1 prestige and 3 credits for that. I'll offer the other prestige to blue. And for that, I will give them the 1 prestige and 1 credit. And they'll take the other hazard die. And then the last player will get 3 credits for helping out. And everybody agrees again, so that's good. So then these 2 will go away. And we'll resolve this last one here. So with my player, I'm going to go ahead and start off by playing a reactor. Lets me play 2 cards. I'm going to go ahead and play some thrusters to gain 2 additional cards. I picked up 2 damage. That's not going to help me. I'll play another reactor and another set of thrusters. We got to roll our dice. I keep forgetting that. I got 1 this time, and blue picks up 1. All right, I get to draw 2 additional cards, so I have another thruster and a shield. And unfortunately, at this point, I think I'm going to have to play that shield to stop that damage. But I have gotten 2 blue and 2 thrusters, and I also reduced thruster by 1, so I only need 1 more thruster and 2 more blues. So over to green. So again, our blue, he can play a shield for free because of his thing there. And then he's going to go ahead and start off by playing reactor and a thruster to draw 2 cards. I got to shuffle up my stuff, so I'll move these over. Okay. 2 more cards. All right, I will play another reactor. Gives me 2 additional actions. Go ahead and play another shield. Why not? And I have a crew member, so they can negate 1 hazard die, play as damage equal to the hazard negated. So I would do 1 damage instead. So we've both met the requirements for it. So green is simply just piggybacking again. Lucks out again. He's going to go ahead and play his reactor, and he'll go ahead and play a damage and a shield card. So we have met the requirements for that contract again. So green will pick up 3. I pick up 1. I think I said 3. And I get a prestige. And then orange will actually get his 2nd prestige, and he picks up another credit as well. All right, so that is the sample of this game. Again, this one adds a couple of really interesting new features, and you can extend the game, which I was really excited about, especially for the solo mode. I'm really interested to see that extra 5 turns or 5 rounds, how that will affect my score, hopefully in a positive way. So I hope you found the video helpful. As always, if you let me know in the comments down below what you think of it. If this is one you're looking at backing, why or why not? And if you have any questions, post those below. And also swing by the Kickstarter's main page, drop any questions you have there. I'm sure the creators would love to hear from you, and I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have. I will have a couple of other videos coming shortly for this, so if you want to get my thoughts on these expansions and which one I would recommend, I'll have a video for that. And then I also am going to be covering the brand new announced app that they have for this, or computer program that lets you play fully cooperative. This is something I've been really excited about. So for those of you that have made it all the way to this video, I will have another one coming for that as well. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Until next time, I'll see you later.